Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama and today I am bringing you Winning with Ease, episode 31. Today we're taking a look at TvP. We're going to be defending against the 4-gate. So I've already done the 4-gate videos for ZVP and PvP, but I decided it'd be nice for our Terran friends. So I'm just going to be opening up with a typical little 1 racks expand, and I will be taking the second depot before the command center simply because it does mess with your opponent's mind, and who doesn't love doing that? Really quickly, we do have the new subscriber shout out. I will go ahead and go through that now. We have Meadbert, Jomi81, Ghost, Aaron DeBacker, Generic Name Numbers, Sup.com, Andrew Choi29, and Jason DeMelfi. So thank you guys for your support. I hope you guys like my casting. Hopefully you guys like my series, Winning with Ease, if that's what's brought you along. And hopefully everything has been useful to you. So, as I said, it is going to be TvP defending the 4-gate. We are on Cloud Kingdom right here. And I'm just going to open up with my typical 10 depot, 12 barracks. So nothing too crazy right now. The big thing, though, that I feel like you have to deal with when defending against a 4-gate is looking for what the 4-gate is. So there's a few tells. Number one is if you do not see a third pylon in the base. Now, granted, my SCV does get killed a little early in this game. I thought I set him up for a little rally around the main a few times. Apparently I didn't. So he dies off a little early, and so I'm going to have to kind of play it a little blind. But at the same time, I don't make any assumptions until I know it's a 4-gate at this point. Now, technically you could go ahead and just throw some stuff down, but things to look for. Number one, energy on a Nexus. If you have a lot of energy on the Nexus, that means he's not chrono boosting out his probes. That means he might be saving it for Warp Gate. So that's the first thing to look for. Second thing to look for is if there is not a third pylon in the base. So if you can have your SCV moving around for a while and you never see him throw down that third pylon, very, very good sign that there's probably going to be a 4-gate because that pylon's out on the map as a proxy, so then he can warp units in. Third thing to really look for is if he has his 2 gas and if he's mining that second gas. Sometimes they'll try and fake you out. They'll take that second gas and cancel it when you leave, or not mine from it, or if they mine from it for less than 30 seconds, then it could also be 4-gate. So here I do get in with my SCV. I look around. I can't really tell too much. I only see 2 pylons, but I only see 1 gas, so he's not even trying the second gas fake out. And I see a lot of energy on that Nexus and chrono boost going down, but it wasn't used on the Nexus. So that's all I saw, and apparently, like I said, this SCV I just did not quite get to. I thought I had him running around. Apparently he wasn't. So still at this point, I see a very 4-gate look-like opening. I'm just going to throw down my bunker right here. I'm not quite sure why this SCV is standing here. But I would have thrown in my bunker, continue to just pump out Marines, and so I'm still going to do just a basic 1 racks expand with 1 bunker at this point. I know, okay, it's possible he might be going for a 4-gate right here, mainly because I saw a lot of this energy on this Nexus. That's kind of a tell, and then also a chrono boost I went down somewhere, probably on the Cybernetics core that just finished, or on a gateway on a unit. So regardless, I'm just going to go ahead and get this bunker right here, and then we'll have to try and scout this out a little bit later again. So continuing to just make units, I'm going to go ahead and get my additional barracks, get my refineries at this point as well. And so now he will poke up with a Stalker Zealot, and I'm just going to run my SCV over to his base at this point. So this is kind of like my little scout, and even if you do not get that scout with that initial SCV, let's say he doesn't die, you can pull him back to here to see if he expands. If he doesn't, you can send him back up into his base a little later. If he's doing a 4-gate, his units will be out across the map trying to poke at you, and so you'll easily be able to sneak an SCV in and look around his base. So here, as you can see, I'm going to sneak the SCV in. I'm going to see 1 gateway, I'll see a 2nd gateway, and I'm going to go, wait a second, what else is back there? And I see 4 gateways. So at this point, 4-gate clearly is known. I go back to my base. First thing I do, throw down 2 bunkers, right? Making sure I'm still building Marines, still making my units, and I'm also going to pull these SCVs to repair. Look at how important it is that I pulled these SCVs for repairing, because all of a sudden he can't break this right now, and now he's going to be forced to back off. So by getting these SCVs out here, it's totally fine to leave these, because the reason is I am ahead on these bases at this point, right? And so this is why I'm building these additional bunkers here, because there's a chance that he does something like that and breaks down that first bunker, and he has to break in to do damage. He also snipes that SCV, so make sure you put more SCVs on building these bunkers, and then just retreat your Marines back into those bunkers, and you'll be totally fine. But yeah, very important that I just leave these here, because look at the worker count, 25 to 19. So I have 5 idle workers, means I'm up 20 to 19, plus I have mules, so that gives me more income. And so then now I can just completely defend on this. I also want to note I added a tech lab right here, so I can start getting stim. You can get stim or concussive shells, combat shields, whatever you want with that. I just like stim for a little bit later, but at this point in the game, maybe it'd be better to get concussive shells. Or combat shields, simply so you can have the extra life or the slow on your marauders. And then I'm also adding a factory so I can start teching up, and this is in the event that the game just kind of moves on later. So once again, note how my SCVs are here to repair and how helpful that is for me. I'm also continuing to make SCVs back home, so I'm going to continue getting further and further ahead, and he knows that he has to do something right here. If he wants to win, he's going to try and push forward. I've got Marauders, I've got Marines right here. He'll be able to pick off one bunker, but I've still got such a superior force to his. I can continue to throw down yet another bunker. This is something a lot of people don't do at the lower leagues that I've seen, is they let a bunker die and that's it. They just kind of like leave it. Continually throw down those bunkers over and over, and you know what? Later on you can just salvage it. You get 75% of your minerals back. So it's extremely nice to continue to have those bunkers. And here, once again, I'm pooling SCVs. I'm going to try and repair. I actually pool all my SCVs on that one. It still wouldn't have really mattered even if that went down, because as you can see, that's it. GG, well played right there. So he's going to just not really have anything left. I'm ahead in the work count, 33 to 19. I'm ahead in the unit count by a ton. He doesn't have any units right there, and that's simply going to be the game for him. So that's going to be it for this game. The big thing to note is if he's going for a 4-gate all-in or a 4-gate, this is an all-in. And so if he cannot do damage to you, you win the game, basically. A lot of times you'll see players GG right out. Sometimes they'll try and like do stuff back home, but it's really, you're in such a favorable position at that point that it's not too difficult. So my name's Mr. Llama. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys in my next video.